I think it was a mistake for the Mulberry House to give in. I think they shouldn't have gave in because it sets a precedence of everybody's going to give in now.
Well, I'm here at Hamilton, Ontario's Mulberry Street Coffee House, which was to be the venue for an outreach program called Coffee with a Cop. What was going to happen is that people could visit the coffee house on May 14th, sit down with a member of law enforcement if they so chose, and have a dialogue. It was an outreach program, but some people went online to stress that this would no longer make the Mulberry Street Coffee House a safe space. They threatened to picket and protest and boycott the cafe. And what happened? Well, the owners capitulated. Coffee with a Cop is no more. In fact, in the online statement from the Mulberry Street Coffee House, indeed, in its declaration of surrender, the Mulberry Street Coffee House actually thanked the bullies for, quote, holding us accountable for our actions. In any event, what do Hamiltonians feel about the Coffee with a Cop event being cancelled? Let's find out.
Why were people against it?
Yeah, great question. Evidently, what the people online were saying that were against it is that to have members of law enforcement in here, the Mulberry Street Coffee House would no longer be a safe space. And I'm trying to connect those dots because I would think that somebody in law enforcement makes it even more of a safe space in case there's somebody with shenanigans on their mind.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess as a small business owner, I would encourage members of the community to not only talk about what they don't like, but what they do like, because it seems there's more bashing against what they don't want. And unfortunately, small business owners have to go with that because it's the only feedback they're getting.
We're losing out to individual groups that don't like what's going on, and they dictate what society should be doing, not what the majority thinks.
Yes.
And it's a shame because we're supposed to work together with law enforcement, and the public we're supposed to get together and find a solution,
Yes.
not separate. And unfortunately, the way society is today, we are getting pulled apart.
Yeah, like, you can have coffee with a firefighter and coffee with a soldier. Like I'm trying to get into the army right now. Come have a coffee with me, talk about life, just don't get too personal about it. And some people don't agree with that. Like, stay out of our business. We do what we do, you do what you do, and we live life, right?
Well, I actually saw the event. I had RSVP'd that I was going to go because I thought it would be good to talk to them. And when they canceled it, I didn't even know why. It was more like, okay.
Well, evidently, ma'am, some people went online. They said, we're going to picket you, protest, we're going to boycott you. And basically, it looks like the coffee house was acquiescing to some online bullies.
It's interesting because there was a illegal pot shop down the street that no one seemed to care about.
Oh, that's interesting.
So no one picketed that when it opened, so they're picketing cops being at a coffee house to talk to them. Kind of makes no sense.
If you were running this cafe as a small businesswoman yourself, ma'am, would you have stuck to your gun, so to speak, or would you have acquiesced to this online bullying?
Well, I guess I don't really know enough about it to comment properly and accurately around it, but as a small business owner, I'm always of the thought to push against the bullying and go for what we believe is right.
I think it was a mistake for the Mulberry House to give in. I think they shouldn't have gave in because it sets a precedence of everybody's going to give in now.
Well, that's hard to say. This is their business, and I have noticed that they've had their windows broken a couple of times. So, I mean, give or take, which way would it go? I mean, it is their business, so they would have to make sure that they're safe because this is their livelihood.
Well, there you have it. All the people that we spoke to weren't in support of canceling the Coffee with a Cop program. for what it's worth, we did reach out to the owners of the Mulberry Street Coffee House. Ella told us that she had no further comment to make. In fact, she wishes the media would just stop reporting on this story. We also reached out to the Hamilton Police Service. They had no further comment to make. In fact, we were directed to a media release in which they stated that they respect the wishes of the cafe and that they will be rescheduling this event at a different venue in the near future. But, you know, in the end, it's kind of a sad story, isn't it? I mean, first of all, you had this cafe doing an event that was essentially shut down due to bullies online threatening that if they didn't stop the event, they were going to cause trouble for the cafe. And also, it's also presumably some of these people that are making these threats are the same ones that have long been saying to law enforcement, reach out to the community, open and engage dialogue with members of the community, and yet here when we have a coffee house doing precisely that, they are threatened to either shut the event down or the coffee house will be shut down. So in the final analysis, what we have seen yet again, folks, is the victory of the tyranny of the minority. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.